Well, hello everybody, and welcome to yet another edition of MBTV News. This is a news program formerly known as Metaworld News, I suppose, where we look at meta-worldy stuff, not metaverse stuff. You see, metaverse, no go. Metaworld, maybe. Seriously, virtual worlds and immersive spaces online, and social worlds that have a 3D aspect to them, I suppose. And this is what we used to call the metaverse before they invented headsets and corporations to abuse such things.
Oh,
So we tend to avoid the M word, but I think you know what we're about. Basically, anything new, fresh, exciting online that has a social component, especially ones places you can visit together without you can actually walk around with your friends and talk to your friends rather than walking into walls and squealing when you do. Much preferred method of behaviour, isn't it? Anyway, my name is Mal Burns. Yay.
yeah.
Mal is the first word, Burns is the second word. So forename, surname. But as everywhere you go on the interwebs is squashed, including Twitter, where you'll find my feed. So if you want to get the feed, go to twitter.com/Malburns, Malburns, all one word. And we have an additional feed there, twitter.com/Metaworld News. Again, all one big foul word. And you'll know basically everything's under my own name, but the Metaworld News has the stuff about OpenSim and the Hypergrid and stuff like that when wherever it appears. And yeah, that is that. Now the reason, catch my breath, don't know what that was. I'm telling you all this is that I'm going to be featuring a few news articles and things like that. And when I mention the link, I'm going to be showing it you on screen. But the best way to get a direct link to the actual page is to look it up on my Twitter feed rather than to just take the link to the homepage of the site. Right, helping me do all this here in the studio with me is none other than James Atlloud. Welcome, James.
Well, hi, Mal. Here we are again. What fun we have.
Here we are again, indeed. And once again, you are sporting your T-shirt with the Ukrainian flag.
hmm
And I don't know whether people noticed as our camera zoomed in at the beginning of the program, but our stage is rather a similar theme today. Rather by accident, we sort of got one of these pictures ready for later on and put it up there and thought, oh, okay, this studio looks good with two eyes. They're two right-hander eyes actually, but from a distance they kind of give you a certain kind of look.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, so yeah, we'll probably have Ukraine on our feelings for a long time, yeah, but
Yeah.
yeah, it doesn't hurt. The picture's rather interesting. Actually, maybe we'll just zoom into the individual picture while I'm talking here. By the way, James Atlloud is not squashed.
Nope.
I don't know. Well, I don't even know where he's on Twitter, but he's the great unsquashed one.
I'm somewhere on
Yeah,
Twitter.
yeah, the symbolism in there. I mean, at first sight, you say, "Oh, what great eyes!" But in fact, then you realise it's the Ukrainian colours, and then more importantly, you realise there's a tear. Look at the eye is crying, so
hmm
there's this sort of tear on the bottom of that image, which is the reason I thought, "Oh, that's a worthy picture for sharing with people." So I have done. There we are. It's sort of come up on the big screen. Well, I think my YouTube is a bit delayed because it's just arrived. Okay, I shall turn the other way again. It's not a good idea to try and look through the back of your head anyway. Right. Okay. So James, who I just introduced, is of course audiovisual whiz kid. He actually manages to bring you my desktop and any offline films, for example, we have bring my picture thing from my desktop, my videos from the desktop, and the web pages from my desktop, all to you. And combined with all that, he can actually take multiple shots of him and me behind the desk, and some of him and some of me at different angles. Everything that is designed to basically change this show from being a boring talking heads show to a an equally boring illustrated show. Yes, I think that's the best way to put it, isn't it? Really. Okay, so that's very good. So filling with all the knobs there, James Atlloud. Welcome again,
Thanks
James.
for calling me a kid.
Oh, Did I?
You said whiz kid. It's like, wow,
Oh
yeah.
yes,
I feel
yes, of course.
young.
Yeah, right. Yeah, yeah. That's true. I use that expression, I think, to whiz person, I should say, shouldn't I? But you know, it's sort of I forget that it's sort of referring to a kid at the same time. Anyway, okay. Well, before I get into some websites, I'm actually going to use the fact that I'm on the picture post and just to bring you. I think there's four other pictures I got here for the week. Uh, Wonderful person, invites books, blogs, and everything else. Noni de la Pena. She got something called a Field Builder Award for digital interactive storytelling this year from a sort of Peabody group. Very prestigious, and the award was presented by a filmmaker she really admires. All this is in the real world, of course, but her award is. She's sometimes called as the godmother, sorry, of the metaverse or VR or something, but one of the many things. I might show you a bit later of the actual film and award, but that's just a display picture for the moment. Um, Earlier in this week, a bunch of educators. Um, they came over here into Open Sim actually, but I think it was a different bunch of educators. This lot actually went into Engage, and I thought that was a reasonably nice picture. Um, they've got name tags over them and everything that to me makes it all look a bit amateury. But yeah, nice avatars, fully formed, and quite a nice space there actually. Sort of, I like the ceiling of that sort of. I don't know what it was from the outside, a dome or something or other. So yeah, they were there in the week. Can't tell you much about that because pictures are pictures, and if they ain't got links on them, they ain't got links on them. And then finally, this is actually a picture of Philip Rosedale talk. He was on a panel in Vigadia. Sorry, Vibella. Oh dear, I'm gonna get trouble for that one. And he was with Charlie Fink and Craig Kaplan and a few. There were four of them, including the guy's name I can't remember. He's a great talker actually, and he's the CEO of Vibella. It was all part of a day of sort of festival day at Vibella. I forget what they were celebrating actually. It was something it can't have been 1 year because they've been around for quite a while. But they're very much focused on spaces that can be used by the enterprise and stuff. And in fact, both Charlie and Philip have been on with him have been on an almost identical panel, I suppose about a year ago, but which was a standalone panel. What I found funny about this was that I actually managed to send some. There's a messaging service there, a bit like you get an OpenSim on Second Life, so I was able to message guys on the stage, Philip, Charlie, but and I could see them. But it's clear that Philip on the stage looking out didn't get to see the people there. He could hardly see any name tags, and and all he saw of the avatars in the audience was silhouettes. Now he did make a point of there are 227 users there, so to have realistically in Vibella at least have fleshed out the avatars of that many people might have been a problem. But I'm very surprised that the ones in the front row there are like cardboard cutouts. Um, because for me in the audience, and I was sitting in the front row, I can see where I was sitting, but there's no indication of which it's me sort of thing. Um, where I was sitting, I could see, like Charlie there, fully fleshed out people on the stage, but also when I cameraed around to those behind me, they were all pretty fleshed out too. So I don't know, maybe it was just a setting for those on stage or something to reduce lag. I don't know. But anyway, that is actually, if you believe it, and you'll just have to take my word for it, but there was 227 users there in the audience for the conference that was called Hands
Oh
In
wow. Okay.
as opposed to Hands On. So big audience, and I must admit, I can't really tell you what Charlie and Philip was saying because it felt like the same old, same old. But you got to remember that they were talking to nearly 250 people, And all of those really are enterprise people rather than people who are really necessarily familiar with the worlds Charlie, Philip, and Co were talking about. So for the audience, it was probably a very good talk indeed. Alex Howland, that's the CEO of Vibella. He was hosting the panel. So, no, Charlie Fink, sorry, was hosting the panel, but Philip Rosedale, Alex Howland were on the. I think I've got that right. Okay, anyway, well, enough of that that's the selection of the pictures for this week, and with that, I'm actually going to put the pictures away, and underneath we should exposed underneath. Oh, computers, go away! Stop it! Browser's opening on top of my world. Okay, so we're on to some news links on the web now. As I said, you can find these links at twitter.com/Mal Burns, but you'll also or possibly Metaworld News, to get to the direct page. But usually it's pretty obvious where we are. I'll be reading out the links as we go. And these were in a rather odd order this week because the first one off the blog is not the Scar Ghost for once. Though he does turn up. I think he was maybe on Tuesday or something. He'd been at South by Southwest in the States, so it was quiet for him last week. And same with Voices of VR. They both made up for it this week, put it that way. Right, okay, but this was an article that was at cnet.com. That's an easy link, isn't it? cnet.com. And I'm not going to spend time anymore talking about all these articles here, but I basically these are kind of essays of the week, if you like. If you want something to read, this is as good as any. And the metaverse isn't a destination; it's a metaphor. Well, that's interesting. Are we seeing something emerge that's been evolving for a long time, or is it the peak of the hype, etc.? So, referencing to Jeremy Belson and various stuff, and his classes. Interestingly, some of the pictures aren't showing up in reader view here. But anyway, it's just a decent read, and you can guess what it's all about, basically. It's basically not a blog that says the metaverse is the new big thing, but what is it? Every company's got that post, and every company has interpreted it differently. So none of them are worth your time, but this one is. Okay, cnet.com, cnet.com. We should now put that one away to make life simple. And okay, I've only got one blog here from, but this is on our Metaworld feed, so it's twitter.com/Metaworld News. And this is interesting. It's Austin Tate's blog. So where are we? blog.inf.ed.ac.uk. So that's blog inf ed UK. And yeah, a bit of a long feed, so maybe a better chasing the link. But a rather interesting article because it's about Van Gogh in a region called Arles in OpenSim. Basically, this is on a grid called the Littlefield grid, and Arles is being created by Mud Puddle Clean Slate. Yeah, you know it's an avatar, don't you, with a name like that? It can be visited by any avatar from any hypergrid-enabled OpenSim grid, such as Ogress, via this location, and then that's the slow you would need there. If you want to write it down really quickly, it's you don't need the hop as a rule. lfgrid.com :8002, and this doesn't work where he's got that slash. You need a second colon and then Arles. So I can tell you immediately that won't work if you copy and paste it. But basically, the colon is the port number, and then the next colon closes the port address and then gives you the region address. Do you see what I mean? So a slight problem there. Anyway, they're just wonderful kind of scenery. And I was a bit late to do this, but this picture, of course, is a very familiar one. That is a set created in the OpenSim build, based on one of Van Gogh's paintings. And this is not.
Oh, Mal, are you still there? I just lost your voice. Testing, testing. I think we might have lost Mal and his internet connection. So, let's, while hopefully he reconnects, um, I'm not sure that Mal knows, but interestingly, in the United States, there has been a huge amount of um, Van Gogh exhibits that are showing up, in real person um, um, environments. So cities are having these exhibits called immersive Van Gogh or Van Gogh the Immersive Experience. I think there are at least three of the um, different exhibits, and it kind of makes me wonder if there's more. But I don't know if that same thing is happening in Europe. Okay, I see Mal has completely logged out from Open Simulator, but yeah. So in the United States, at least, we've got a vast selection of Van Gogh to enjoy. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put up our technical difficulties slide, and we'll be back when Mal is back. Hello.
Oh God! Right, looks like I'm back. It took two recycles of the hub
Mm.
and one recycle of the research to get that sorted. It's happening just too often now. twice a day on average.
Oh no.
Right,
Okay.
okay, I'm back. Oh, right. Are we still on air?
Yep.
Okay, that is wonderful. So, um, welcome back, folks. I hope James managed to entertain you.
I just a little bit. I shared a story about there are so many Van Gogh exhibits in the United States that
Yeah.
it's so funny. Immersive exhibits where you go to a an art installation, and I know there are at least three of them, but it's so fascinating.
Yeah. Um, yeah, I've read about quite a few of them actually. I suppose I don't know. The connection here, is, of course, is in open sim. Um, Oddly enough,
Right,
when I
right.
picked up this, I actually had a clip of the real painting too.
Oh,
um,
okay.
on the companion blog, but it's not on this blog. It would actually be nice to put like open sim version here. Uh,
Hello. Hmm. Well, lost audio again.
Again. Okay, well I'm back in world, folks, but I don't seem
Oh,
to.
your audio just came back, Mal. I don't know where it was, but
No, that's
I'm
weird.
hearing you now for the first time.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Okay, something's going wrong here. I think it's still going on and off here.
All right, but I hear you
It's,
now.
yeah, I couldn't actually move in world for a minute there, but
Ah, okay.
yeah. Okay, well I've now got my seat back. So, okay, well I was and YouTube says we're experiencing technical difficulties, which
Yeah, it's the lag. I'll have it the slide gone.
show
And your audio's dropping again.
you can
And your audio's completely gone now.
do.
Now it's
So
back.
yeah. Well, it's gone again, or went
Yep,
again,
now
or
it's
what?
back. Now it's back. Yep.
Oh Lord, I don't know what's going on here then. Um, God, look at all this stuff.
Hmm.
I don't know what's happening here.
It's is it a conspiracy? Oh, and he's gone again. Hello, hello.
One, two.
Okay, I heard one, two,
Okay. Yeah, for some reason,
and you faded out.
that's that. So I'm going to
Now
move
you're
on.
back. Just heard you come back.
Am I back or not? So
Now
it
you're
seems to be
back. I just heard you come back.
1 minute I'm here, and the next I'm not.
Yep. Yep. I hear you now. I heard you say I'm
Or
not.
we
Silence. It might be our
lost.
Ukrainian flags. Now I heard you. I heard a pop of voice.
Something is up.
Yeah, I'm not hearing anything, Mal, for quite a bit. And there he goes.
Let's see. Ah, maybe we're back. Wonderful. Well, I've rebooted everything again. Well, this time, no, not everything, but well, yeah, everything actually. I just hope that maybe um, we'll be okay this time. I don't know. It could. It's funny. All the indicators show good, and the one that normally fails is not failing at all. But the signal, according to my router, is just flickering on and off, like on for a few seconds, then off again, and
Okay.
all a bit daft. But I'm back in world,
All right. And we're still
and
on the air. Yep.
I am now sat.
Okay.
Okay. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is an exciting day, isn't it? You are seeing
Mm-hmm.
for the first time ever the chaos behind the. It's no wonder we're called the monkeyverse, really, is it? Or
Mm.
the M word. It's like an F word, really.
Ah, and there
So,
goes your audio again.
okay,
Oh,
well,
now it's
just wait.
back. Now it's back.
You can't. It can't. It can't. I mean,
It's back.
everything.
I still hear you. Oh, I heard the little matrix sound and it faded out. Oh, I heard it share. Hello? I hear you. I heard your voice.
Yeah, but it's not helping it. But you hear me for a second, then it goes off.
Yeah.
The connection between my hub with the fiber modem and the router. The light is flashing. Sorry, I'm doing this live on air, but I really need to find out why. Oh, there's no flashing. The router says it's all connected, and then suddenly it goes away. So it's anybody's guess. Of course, if I sit down now to get on with the show, I won't be able to tell. That's the problem. Okay, I'm going to try reloading. Well, I'm not even going to bother with the screens behind me. You can, if you're in the audience, you can do that for yourself. Okay, well, I am here, and
Yep, I still hear you good. Yep.
And flapping in worlds, so I think we're okay for a short while. I will endeavour to say a few words live again, apart from more apologies. I'm sure you heard, in between all that up and downsy and everything else, that we were talking about an open similar grid there called Littlefield Grid, and Van Gogh's the Arley's installation there. I'm going to put that one away. You never know, it might be the link that's causing the problem. And I'm moving to a new post.
Yeah, and Screen Leap is not running?
It's not.
Nope.
Oh. Oh God, where? Right. Okay, we'll keep the program going, and I'll just start on that. Right. Screen leap. This is a problem. It's when we lose. Oh. I'll quit screen leap, sorry. Okay. I know it's ended, you stupid. Unbelievable things happen here. Right. There we are, so hopefully we are sharing
yes.
again.
Loading screen.
Alright. Okay, this is gonna go down on history.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
The day the devil's hit. I don't know, I must have upset Putin again.
Yep. All the Ukraine flags, right?
Yeah, exactly. You know, sort of cyber bombing everywhere on the planet, really. Experiencing technical difficulties. Oh, we got a new background slide to go with that. Yeah, I'm confused now. Really am. Right. Okay. Oh, I see what you've done. Right. Okay. So you can hear me, and we got the screen back. Yeah.
Got the screen back. Yep.
Okay. So we can now hopefully. There we are. Okay. So this is almost like the beginning of the show again, isn't it? Mm-hmm. Okay. Let's see if I can close those notifications. Okay, Cetus World Studio. What is this? Vice.com. Okay, VICE.com. And this is an old history of something called Cetus World, which is best. That's Black Entertainment Television. They had an original virtual reality host. And this is just a look back at them. This was before Lord Zuckerberg got his hands on the idea of Inverse, and yeah, so they're introducing the various verses. But this was a 1998 commercial for something called Jam Zone, which is a 2-hour music video roundup that this lady was hosting. Right, her name was Sita, and she was Black Entertainment Television's bodacious cyber diva with her very own world. Okay. You can read out about this, and I think I have a video coming up shortly. Although I can't be sure of that this week. Everything's going wrong.
Yeah.
But you'll find this at vice.com, vice.com. And interesting little bit of history there, going back, 23 years. Uh, very, the clip they've linked to there somewhere is actually surprisingly good for its time. Remember, this was before even Second Life was, well, I think it was even before Lindenwold, let alone Second Life. So, somebody else busy this week, as I say, as I'm moving on, back from South by Southwest, is, of course, Voices of VR. Now, I'm not going to load them all, but I will read them out. Starting with edition 1062. Oh, Lord, are we on the... No. Are we on technical difficulties still?
No, but
Oh, actually, I better refresh my YouTube page. It's still spinning around with technical difficulty.
I'm
I'll
seeing just a
reload.
gray screen on the screen leap.
So am I, which is all very. I think all these disconnections may mean it's. Oh God, I'm going to refresh it. Okay. Well, we'll go with this one for now.
Mm-hmm.
Voicesofvr.com, very easy enough to find. VOICESOFVR.com. Now, the first one for the week I had was 1062. This is 1064 we're looking at now. With 1062 was exploring teenage mental health, basically. And it was looking at something called Weird Times, a 5-episode VR series. This one is looking at intergenerous poet's journey from doc subject to co-writer on award-winning VR story On the Morning You Wake to the End of the World. This got a lot of airing at South by Southwest, apparently. It's not new, it's been covered a while, but maybe the first time Kent has got an interview with them. 1064 again. This doesn't make sense. I think that was 1063, the one we just had, even though it might just have been misnumbered. 1064. I remember we had this picture up last week, actually. It's bringing art history to life in VR
Mm-hmm.
with the History of Painting series. I think it was just a picture I had last week, but this tells you a bit more about it. And obviously, you can stream these are audios, basically. You just get a little summary on the website here. I'm not going to load them, obvious reasons, I think. But I'm going to quickly go down the list here. That's the one we're looking at now. 1061 was an immersive theatre one-on-one experiment from a company called Gumball Dreams. My audios at the same site, by the way, voicesofvr.com, so no sweat there. 1060 was about using VR to tell native... Oh, I've clicked on it anyway. To tell Native American stories with owls and Choctaw code talkers. Wow, go figure. Oh, a nice little set there. Are those mannequins, or I can't remotely tell. I'll put it away. Right, going down the list. Okay, 1067 further down here. This is Kent reporting on Nonny's winning the Legacy Peabody Award, which I showed you a post of earlier on. This is a retrospective interview with her. So she's rated the Emblematic Group 27. Well, anyway, again, this is a podcast to listen to. VoicesVR.com, number 1067. A little bit more about that much later, if we ever get there. 1069 was forensic architectures, spatial interdisciplinary work. 1070 was all about how Princeton and Games for Change were involved in that On the Morning You Wake again. And I'm doing this from the anecdotes here. Oh yeah, and 1071 is an overview of the 16 winners of the Peabody Awards. The top one, of course, was the one, as you can see above there, went to Nonny. Uh, Wonderful lady. Right. Okay, now that's it for yeah, that's it for voicesofvr.com. So I can move down to the place we very often start. Last week was a bit of a problem for him because of South by Southwest, but now he's back in Italy. And he says he's left a piece of his heart in Austin. Oh dear.
Oh,
Anyway, this is the Scar Ghost. We might even have a sound effect for that. That might be risking it. That might be asking too much today. Okay.
yep.
This is posted on Monday, March 22nd, but it's a roundup of the week before, basically. So he's really talking about his time in Austin. He's talking a bit about NVIDIA too, and the top stuff of the week. Now, it's worth making a note of this site because, especially this week, having come back from America, he's actually posted quite a few posts of reviews and things. So he writes long posts about little things. And even longer posts about big things. Right, the address is scarredghost.com. So SKARREDGHOST.com. And that's where you find it. Basically, every Monday you get his roundup of the week. So tomorrow, for example, because we're broadcasting on Sunday, there'll be another blog, which it won't replace this one, but it'll be more up to date than this one, if you get my drift. Okay, so good roundup stuff there. Right, now this is interesting. It's a site called Consultancy UK, CONSULTANCY.UK. A fairly genuine company, actually. So it's not hype. Apparently, here in the UK, we have the highest. Well, metaverse. Does anybody know what it is? Well, apparently, we're very curious about it anyway. We have the highest metaverse curiosity in Europe. Yes. So over here in Britain, we're a curious kind of folk, and we're still curious as to what the M word means, but we've got the highest curiosity in Europe. Yeah.
Interesting.
That is a fascinating way of looking at things, isn't it?
Yeah.
There we are. Here, of course, it says France and UK. So France. Hang on. Well, we're not in Europe, so we can. They're acting like we are, but anyway, it looks like we're behind France. Oh no, here we are. Yeah, okay. 61,220. All the French could come up with 60,000, really. 1,200 short. Really, statistics. I don't know. I'll have to send this to Maria, I think. Okay. I say about that is Consultancy UK. It's CONSULTANCY.UK. And moving on down the list, VR Scout here, right? Two posts, sort of arguably about future tech or haptics. Questions: are hologram boxes going to be the future of video calls? Now, of course, if they were, it wouldn't be much of a leap to think that those holograms could eventually replace avatars in Mverse type things. Imagine being able to beam a lifelike hologram of yourself anywhere across the world in a matter of seconds. It sounds like something from Star Trek. Contrary to popular belief, the technology is already here, and it would be pretty amazing, wouldn't it? A Los Angeles-based company, Proto, has developed a technology that allows you to beam a full-body 4K hologram for yourself everywhere in the world. Now, there was a clip, that I think I showed a few weeks ago, which was related to this. Basically, they showed a demo of it at South by Southwest. So the writer here at VR Scout actually got a close-up of the full thing. It's a full-size, self-contained hologram device that can easily be set up in any home or office, and it's made to look like a magazine cover using digital assets, but you can add any type of graphic you like, such as the company logo or nothing at all. I can think of a few kind of sites that might go for the nothing at all option.
Okay.
Hologram in its birthday suit, eh?
Hmm.
But that doesn't seem to be the idea. There's an example of somebody there. She's, a kid and mum and dog, or toy dog by the look of it, presumably looking at auntie or grandmum or something in the portal. Apparently, these come full size as well, but this is obviously the portable one. Um, Interestingly, I can see it's getting confused with the almighty Meta's portable thing, which is actually called Portal. This is actually called Portal, in other words, P-O-R-T and then L,
Hmm.
presumably to avoid upsetting Zuckerberg. Well, maybe Zuckerberg would chase this and change his name again or something. Who knows, these people? Um, okay, okay, Old Space VR comedy show failed to render. It's the name of a show on Old Space VR. They wanted a hybrid comedy show, and it took place in Old Space and the physical world simultaneously, and they used Proto to actually bridge the two worlds for that. I know I've seen that, but it could be very interesting. Anyway, this is a link to find out more about this. Um, you know, um, I'm reminded of the very first ever Star Wars. I mean, it's what, number 4 in the sequence these days, where Alec Guinness appeared as a sort of blue hazy hologram talking to, I don't know, Skywalker or something. And I was thinking how cool that was, and basically, that's what a video hologram call would be like. It would be much better than that because it wouldn't have to travel over light years, uh, presumably, or warps through galaxy holes or anything else. But that does seem to be the idea. And once that's in play, we're wandering around saying, video calls? Oh, come off it. That's the past, mate. You need a hologram call kind of thing. So, yeah, I can see a lot of certain kinds of people getting full use out of that. The kind of people that are first to be on webcams and first to be in back streets in the real world, etc., etc. Right. Okay. So we will see. But Wired.com, I believe, is the American site for Wired. WIRED.com. And they got a review about Nemo. It's a mini computer that sits on your head and gives you 6 virtual screens to work with when you're away from your desk. Um, right, yeah, this I can't think we did this last week, but it was actually earlier this week, so who knows. Um, anyway, the idea is they want to replace your laptop. Now, these aren't VR or necessarily even AR. The idea here is that instead of going out and buying a laptop, you can actually go and buy these, and you will be able to. The glasses are 2 independent high-res screens that replace the screen that would be on your laptop, etc. But you've got everything sort of plugged in. As the review says, smart glasses are in different flavors: augmented reality kind, which overlay helpful information on the real world; the type that has a Bluetooth speaker but on your head; and even glasses that work as a head strap camera to capture moments of your day. But there's a kind of work that work as a wearable display, but they're tiny screens embedded into the sides of each lens, so that you can multiple virtual screens to watch movies, work, or play games. So basically, you can switch apps easily on this by loading them into different screens, and depending on the way you tilt your eyes, you can see. I imagine um, it works a bit like when you've got multiple displays on your desktop running off the same computer. You got a window you monitor on the left and on the right, and but apparently there's 6 sensors to do it here. They liken it a bit to Lenovo's Think Reality A3, um, but that needs to be tethered to a mobile device or laptop for power and processing. So glasses aren't weighed down by chips and batteries. But so what's interesting about Nemo here, from Nemo Planet, is they forego the need for a wired connection, but still remain relatively light. They use Qualcomm Snapdragon processor, and it basically turns them into a kind of mini computer that sits on your head. Ah, tongue twisters. Okay,
Yeah,
it's that.
yeah.
sits on your head. Anyway, you can read more about these intriguing things. I don't know what they're going to cost, but I mean, they'd probably be fairly agreeable for me if I actually had a use for them, which I'm not sure I would, but here we go. So wired.com, wired.com for more about that. And, how did we get him twice? I don't know. Okay. So I'd mentioned this at the beginning of the show when we were showing a picture of a snapshot from the stage in Babella, which Philip talking showed all these cardboard characters. But anyway, they had 10 years, that was it, with a new digital campus. It looks a bit like the old digital campus, to be honest, but I guess they've updated it a bit. It was it happened all through Thursday. I saw a few of the panels, and the very last panel, of course, was on the future of working in the metaverse, which was the one with Alice Howland, Philip Rosedale, and others. Gone blank there, haven't we? That's the view of their new campus. I mean, there's the bit. I don't know which the auditorium is, to be honest. I think you land around here, and I think the auditorium is up here, but they don't look like. Who knows? Who knows? But it's easy enough to get around. They've got a list of locations, and you just teleport between them. So that's an aerial view, photo from Fabella themselves, and yeah, there we are. There's like one of the. Yeah, actually, I saw that session. That was kind of an opening session with highlight people. Then there were a few more kind of sessions, and then the final one, Charlie Fink, Philip Rosedale, and of course Alex. So that post you'll find at XR today. Quite a few sites actually had the information because it was sent out as a press release anyway, so a lot of people covered it. xrtoday.com is the one you want for that. And we're now back on cnet.com. We've been here before today. At cnet.com. And beat this for a title. The metaverse will be a multi-platform mess. Yes. Yes, yes, it rhymes. The metaverse will be multi-planet mess. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, yes, yes. Etc. Right. Metaverse advocates' conflicting priorities will mean there's a fragmented collection of different 3D realms, but not a single destination. Yeah, fragmented mess, eh? And of course,
Sounds about right.
Zuckerberger's going to mess it up even more, isn't it? Anyway, as you can see, welcome to the messy metaverse, or should we call it the messyverse? That's a good idea.
Mm-hmm.
That's a new name for you, the messyverse. Yes, we're going to call it the metaverse for you. Not so fast meta. Presumably meta there is meta as opposed to meta. Yeah, you know what I mean. Okay, and what Meta really wants is to effectively own the metaverse. What they're trying to do is create their own platform, complete with apps and services, he said. Oh dear, do they really think they can get away with that? Probably think they can. I won't wish them luck. They won't lead anyway. Okay, that was...
There's okay. Your audio dropped a little bit there, Mal. Oh, all silent now. Screen leap is still going though. Oh no,
yeah,
okay.
the little light here is standing up and looking at the back there is flickering on and off, and some things I don't know. So when it happened the first time, I was still seeing myself talking in Second Life, in OpenSim, even when all the lights had gone out and I wasn't connected. It was like delays moving through thin air.
Yeah.
Right. Let's see if we're getting anywhere here now. Okay. ARinsider.co. I think we're working here.
Yep, I hear you.
Yeah. Okay. Mike Boland writing here, XR talks, plotting the future from lessons of the past. This was actually a talk, the Man of Future Projects, and a bit of a roundup there. And of course, you can click through for more at YouTube on whatever I'm not going to do that. Don't want to risk anything at the moment.
Hmm.
So take that one away, and again move back to Read Write Web, and now we've got it up. Get the most out of a virtual conference. This is really the mainstream article. Really, a lot of people, they're new to the idea of virtual conferences, and they've probably just about got used to Zoom. But it's not really a virtual conference. That's video conferencing. But all the pros really, basically cost savings, avoiding travel, attendance flexibility, environmental control, minimal work disruptions, and then how you can help by doing prep work, etc., etc. So a bit of a guide there, and you'll find this at readwrite.com. ReadWrite. Used to be called Read Write Web, I think, but it's just readwrite.com these days. Right. Now, 9to5mac.com. This is the 9 the number, and then TO, then 5 the number, then mac.com. And they obviously keep an eye on messaging and things. Obviously, they've got iMessage to wonder about, but also compatibility with Android and stuff like that. But it's quite interesting because as of this week, the European Union, EU, has passed the European Union's Digital Markets Act. And amongst this thing is platform interoperability, which for the metaverse, if we're going to call it that, is something we've been after for a long, long while. But at the moment, crucially, it works with messaging services. Now, some would argue that you take something like Second Life, many people who started using Second Life migrated there from chat rooms, right? Now, chat room is not much different from instant messaging, except it's multi-user and stuff way before messaging was. It all starts from telecommunications, if you like. Two people talk, then you add a few more, then you get it on video, and then you've got text added and all this sort of stuff. It's all about communications, and the virtual world where we're sitting now is just James and me doing our show, but this could be a nightclub with 50 people in it dancing away and everybody talking to each other. It is still messaging. And what is interesting about this is that in Europe now, it is illegal to lock users into a given messaging service. So it means that iMessage from now on will have to work with Android messaging, which will probably have to work with Facebook's Messenger, because they're no longer legally allowed to lock people in. Now, the idea is people use mobile phones. They just want to open a messaging client. They don't want to open 10 messaging clients to keep an eye on all their friends. So if you've got, I know this. I mean, I have to go to, Meta's Messenger. Please help me, because a few family and old friends and people are on that, and they're not found anywhere else. Other people have been on Skype for a long while, and they think it does enough for them that they've never even bothered to change. So I have to go on Skype to get to them. I'm in Discord a lot, my preferred platform, I guess. But there's WhatsApp as well, and of course that's used by a lot of people because it means they can use phone number to phone number without paying for the phone call. I think that's how it works. I never figured it out really, but there are so many of them. I've got Telegram and Signal as well, which are encrypted, and I've got people I know on them, although I don't particularly use them for communications. They're kind of more of an emergency thing. But the thing is, they don't work with each other. I can't open Skype and ring somebody on Messenger. I can't open Messenger and ring somebody on Discord. They're all self-contained little universes, and people don't want 1,000 different messenger clients on their phones. They want a good, decent messenger client. You've still got choices, maybe. Each one could try and be better instead of just trying to compete. Anyway, in Europe, and Britain is not in Europe, so I have no idea where we stand in this at the moment anyway. I think Westminster, realising that we really should have been in Europe still anyway, because poor Boris got left out of an important meeting in the week. He
Yep.
was allowed into NATO and he was allowed into the G7, but it wouldn't let him into the Europe discussion. But Biden got in. He's not Europe, so
Not Europe.
go figure. I think they're just getting their own back finally. Anyway, this is all antitrust legislation known as the Digital Markets Act, which is um, the umbrella thing. Um, the aims of the laws are to ensure that tech startups are able to enter the market without their growth being inhibited by dominant players, and that consumers are able to benefit from the fruits of that competition with the best services at the lowest prices, or maybe the best quality service at the highest price. But nevertheless, you get the idea, interop. And I would argue that most virtual worlds, that are social virtual worlds at least, are actually glorified messaging platforms, and therefore would come under that. They make a thing here about the problem is the messaging. It's extremely fragmented. There's SMS, RCS. These are text on your phone. iMessage, WhatsApp, Facebook Messenger, Signal, Telegram, WeChat, Line, QQ, Viber, Kik, Snapchat, Twitter, DMs, Discord, and many more. But that's before we even get into Google's ever-changing range of IM apps and apps that are popular in specific countries, like Kakao Talk in South Korea. And a lengthier list still with business messaging apps like Slack and Teams. And technically, I mean, we all know that, say, Meta or Facebook, as they once were, will probably like to merge their messengers, WhatsApp, Messenger, and Facebook thing. It's probably helpful to have them separate, but they like having all these things under their umbrella, one of everything. Twitter's expanding beyond its traditional direct messages into other things that way. Discord is being very good, and you can actually extend Discord to connect with other services, but they're not few and far between yet. But it's well, great consumers, and the evidence is competition will work. Everyone can choose their own preferred app. On the other hand, it's a bit of a nightmare when you want to actually, message somebody, because everybody can choose their own preferred app. Anyway, you can read all about this here. It doesn't tell you what exactly is happening tomorrow morning because of the law from a couple of days ago being passed. Clearly, the tech companies are going to be given a while to sort it out. It's actually they cite Apple, which has complete control of hardware, platform, and app. But Apple managed to come up with a clever workaround, which now enables you to send from iMessage, and what is it? Seamlessly use iMessage between iPhone, iPad, Mac, and the Apple Watch. Okay, that's something different. Apparently, you can now message between Android messages and iMessage. I'm not quite sure how it works. I think certain features of iMessage are replaced in the Google one by something else, but it's probably due to smileys and stuff like that rather than the basic message. Anyway, yes, read more about this one. I hear James sighing. Has he lost me again?
Nope, nope. I still hear you.
Okay, thank God. I think we're over our hard bit now.
Hopefully,
Okay,
yep.
well, the final web link, so to speak, is roadtovr.com, roadtovr.com. And this is talking about Manus VR gloves, a new edition of them with new levels of finger tracking accuracy. Again, this was at, well, actually, no, this was this week, so it wasn't South by Southwest. It was GDC, which is the Game Developers Conference, but it's quite a wide-ranging conference, not just developers, a lot of people there for the PR. And they've been building motion gloves for quite a while, and prior offerings were based on IMU and flex sensor tracing. But the quantum Meta gloves, I love the name, moves into a new magnetic tracking approach, which purportedly offers significantly more accurate finger tracking, especially when it comes to self-contact. I beg your pardon. fingers touching other fingers or the palm of that. Well, I can imagine self-contact might be taken a bit further than that, but never mind. Revealed at GDC for the first time, they showed up a demo of quantum metagloves using realistic real-time hand model that mirrored the wearer's finger movements. The gloves are designed to work in conjunction at the moment with 6DOF tracking via Steam VR tracker. This is getting all too technical for me, but you get the idea. Those are the gloves, and it's basically a new edition. They don't look any less cumbersome than the last ones I saw, but never mind. If you want them, you want them, I guess. So find more information about that at roadtovr.com, roadtovr.com, and the article written, of course, by the boss man there, Ben Lang. Right. So we're moving on now to my video links, which these are actually in the Twitter stream as well, but I keep them, most of them, separately here at Mastodon as well. So you can get a feed here by going to mastodon.social/@Metaworld. So that's mastodon.social@/@Metaworld, and do to us that way. So carrying on down here, are we still live? It looks like we are. Right.
Yep.
Okay. Last posted yesterday, I guess. Between Realities had a few extra shows this week, as it were. They had one for each day of GDC. So rounding up all the tech demos and everything else every day there. Cosmonius High, Links Mixed Reality, Alter Breaker, and more. One here that, due to a slight typo, there's no space there. It's I think I've edited this, but it isn't edited here, unfortunately. This is the Ieee Vr Conference. That's a computer society, basically. They had a keynote from Tim Dwyer, and that is posted here. That's quite long, actually, but interesting. And quite a few from Ieee VR. There was a workshop on everyday virtual reality. The links are working fine with this one. And then Between Realities again, GDC. Hang on, where am I here? Right, one day ago. Okay, another look at GDC. This isn't Tilt 5, links me with that. This is an overview one, I think. And I'm getting mostly confused there. I'm just going to click on that to check it's not the one I wanted to mention.
Yeah, keep in mind, Between Realities has merged with, or have partnered with Upload VR.
No, I'm just getting to that. That's why I've actually.
Okay.
That's why I opened it to test it. Right. Okay. That one there. They've obviously got day 1 and day 2 of the GDC too.
Yep.
But they had a really nice episode this week. Right. Oh, yeah, they had one 3 days ago with Beardo Benji. There's GDC day 1. Day 2 seem to have missed this list. Where the hell has it gone? Oh, there's day 2. They're in a funny order, aren't they? VR download. This was earlier in the week. More Ieee. There we are. Okay, well, the one I really wanted to mention doesn't seem to have made it here, which is really pissing me off because on Friday, Between Realities had a special show, and their guests, right, were actually the guys from Upload VR, and they were talking almost exclusively about South by Southwest, and it was really interesting because you saw, the guys at Between Realities are real people, but the guys on the Upload VR thing are avatars, and it's a real mix, and it actually was great. And I have no idea whatsoever why it hasn't actually arrived on this sharing site. I'm having a lot this year. It's like some just miss their post. Right, I can't even reload the page here, can I? I'll look at it. Okay, So basically, a lot of coverage from GDC here, a lot from the Ieee conference, um, and uh, yeah, more GDC. Where so unbelievable that I've got one thing and not the other. I've completely forgotten about that one earlier in the week, and then we get the new one later in the week. This is what happens when they don't stick to their normal days. Okay. Let me. Oh, likewise. That's the week before because we couldn't find one this week. Okay. Let me just see here what I can do briefly. Stand by to stress my router.
Okay.
Just in case. I'm loading a glorious creature called YouTube. Oh, there it is. My long desktop. Never mind. We can get around that. We can just slide it in. Slip it on in there. So it sounds a bit rude, doesn't it, really? Right, okay. That's my... These are all my incoming subscriptions from YouTube, including a load of stuff that isn't remotely. Oh, this is like Aerosmith, the band. I love them actually. I'm not a fan of metal, but I do like Aerosmith. But the ultimate rock band, what are they doing? They're doing a freaking Las Vegas residency. You know, I think of Elvis Presley when people mention residencies in Las Vegas, not hard rock bands, but times have changed, I guess. They won't be the first, actually. I saw that. Thought, oh dear. Right, okay. Oh, VWBP Spotlight. Don't know about that. Maybe they might be doing. I'll mention that. Oh, this is one of these ones that get posted before they happen. Right. Okay, that's not helping me. I've now got a wheelie, and I'm gonna have to. Oh, I knew it. I was going to end up in trouble here. Right. Back. Get out of here. Stick to buying links I've made, I think. Okay. Virtual's Best Practice in Education is an education conference, and it will probably be around there a bit. It happens in Second Life next week. Been a couple this week in OpenSim, but they're not. They were sort of side events. One on Friday. I'll in a minute. Oh, Cypress and right, okay. I didn't know it was a new Cypress and Rosewood video. That is good. That's Second Life though. So I'm trying to find the important one here. And the guy, oh God, look at all this. See, people advertising in advance things that aren't even on air yet. They just completely clutter up my feed. It makes it hard to find things that I want. Right. Now I'm on yesterday. I think I need to go a lot further down here. I do have a little overload of wanted subscriptions, let alone unwanted posts. Right. But we really have to. Find the dog this week. Like, come on, it's been that long ago. At least you get to see all my subscriptions in miniature here, don't you? While we're on
Sure.
the way. This might be of interest to somebody watching. Otherwise, my apologies for extending. It's a good job we're not time constrained on the news this week, although we are almost there. This is so annoying. I'm going to get up in a minute, I think. All I'm looking for is an additional this week.
Mel, have you turned away from your microphone?
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I turned away a bit because
Okay.
I'm sticking my nose in this screen trying to figure
Okay.
out.
Yep. It had gotten muffled, but it was still there.
Right. Yeah. I probably needed to tap on it to rejig it, so to speak. But I'm as you can see, I'm now down on, into last week, and I still can't find. Oh, there was oh, well, that's just an edit of Evo's in from another one. God, where? GDC day 1. No, we're not that far back. No, we're further up here. It's got to be. Okay, well, if I can't find it at a glance, it's probably buried in that massive coming up videos, hidden from the site by stuff that hasn't happened yet. I think it should have been around Friday. But if it's it was basically, it was just a great interview because we were hearing the guys from Upload VR guesting on another show talking about their otherwise excellent show of their own kind of thing, and yeah, as James mentioned, they announced a few weeks ago they got kind of mixed in there, but if it's not going to show up, that's Upload VR at GDC yet again, but that's not the Avatar one. Okay, well, I'm sorry, folks, I can't get. I thought I might be able to get away with it going this way, but I'm going to be here all day trying to do that. I can do it offline a lot quicker and then tag it. Okay, so anyway, these are the. There are some other videos I know that were actually posted directly to Twitter, so there may be some that I've missed bringing up because they went to Twitter but they didn't go to Mastodon, if you see what I mean. It's all down to scripts and behaving links. Who knows what, really? Right, okay, so the last thing on my list is not links at all. I'm going to load some offline videos that I've got hanging around here. A couple of these are to do with Metaworld News OpenSim, which would have been actually on in World Review if we were doing it this week. But this one, I'm going to play the whole lot. Drasta Depre is well known for doing editorial videos and things in Second Life and whatever. And this is actually a trailer for a new movie he's got coming out called Virtual Cultures. So without further ado, we will play it. It's 3 minutes of it, really. So here we go.
Frankly, around where I live, so many people who don't wear masks, it's made going outdoors stressful. This pandemic has been really weird.
You have to remember, my generation was brought up on the belief that we fix the problems, everything's fine.
We've known this for a long time. There's a lot of stigma against people who are forced to rely on internet connection.
To paraphrase Mary Oliver, this is what I choose to do with my one wild and precious life. Time is not wasted if you are enjoying it.
How is the government handling anxiety? How are the people handling the anxiety about not knowing?
I think you're overestimating what people are able to do now. It's very difficult for a lot of people to take on other people's emotions.
A month of not being able to leave your property, even if you wanted to go for a walk or go to the shop, you'd get stopped by police. And I lived in a van.
Wow. A basic idea that we began with in this research was to reject that people go online simply to replace something they've lost. New forms of social interaction, new kinds of behaviors and practices and beliefs, forms of creativity can't just be extrapolated from the physical world. You just can't add the physical world and stir.
Yes, Miranda, yes?
I first wanted to just play like a normal person, and I'm like, boring. So then I start taking shots, and they start looking like my character's moving, and I go, wait a minute, this is a great idea! And I rule the world of movies now.
The comparison between Animal Crossing and Second Life, you compare apples to a Lamborghini. I know this is very judgmental.
There's a little bit of bias there.
So you've got this inherent inequality in society to begin with, but now it's exacerbated. This acts as a perfect mask or a disguise for the powerful to go wherever the hell they want, to float whatever rules they want. Essentially another layer of impenetrability. The pandemic has acclimated, it's habituated us to this kind of contact. We are essentially all in Animal Crossing.
He was a strange dude turning up during the middle of the pandemic and knocking on the van, trying to open the door, popping his head in like, hello. Oh, sorry, wrong bedroom.
There we go. Next is a clip about Muta.
Understand each other, to love each other. So I'm really proud of you, very happy, very...
Oops.
Happy of this very well deserved recognition. So
this is
it is my honor to introduce.
Sorry, okay, I can get back to the beginning of that. This is the one about the award that Noni de la Pena got from Peabody in the week. And it's about 4 minutes long, but it starts with an introduction by one of her favourite filmmakers, and it goes from there. And I thought it was well worth replaying here.
My name is Alejandro González Iñárritu, and I'm a filmmaker. Noni, we all, the ones that has experienced your work, we have been transformed. I will never forget when you showed me the first time Hunger in LA, and I was so moved. The fact that you use real audio from the real people suffering on those lines, waiting for a piece of meal. All those stories, the way you did it, with that heart that you have, that you give yourself to subordinate technology to a greater purpose, which is to understand each other, to love each other. So I'm really proud of you, very happy of this very well deserved recognition. So I think it is my honor to introduce Noni de la Peña into the legacy class of winners for the Peabody Awards. Noni de la Peña, congratulations.
I'm Noni de la Peña. I'm the founder of Emblematic Group, and I'm best known for helping pioneer the form of immersive journalism. And now I'm also founding director for Arizona State University's new Center on Narrative and Emerging Media. I think as a journalist, you usually embrace this profession because you care. And I see that all the time with students, with others, that you really want to make a difference in the world. And that's why I was attracted to trying to get involved with investigative journalism. And when I was a correspondent for Newsweek, the type of work that I would do, it would be like I spent the night in a crack den. And that feeling of trying to put somebody on the ground, reporting about it, writing about it, that was something I was trying to capture in my text. And then later on when I became a documentary filmmaker, in my videos, in my films. And then finally, I decided that I would try to utilize virtual reality, put people on scene, to really let them be the reporter that I'd been when I was in that crack den. What motivates a person to try to start telling stories in a brand new medium, where the technologies barely existed, where we had to 3D print headsets? It was because I felt like this new medium offered an opportunity to give people experiences that would connect them to stories in a way that, even though I'd worked really hard in print and worked really hard in film, I just wasn't, giving people the experience of understanding Stories of the Invisible. Hunger in Los Angeles is a piece that I think I'm best known for having premiered at the Sundance Film Festival, which put people on scene at a real story in Los Angeles, where a man with diabetes didn't get food in time and he collapsed into a diabetic coma. That was a pivotal moment in terms of the beginnings of my career in creating this idea of we could use virtual reality for journalism. Immersive journalism, it's a whole new fully embodied experience that uniquely positions people to have a visceral experience and a visceral understanding of a news story. We did a piece on solitary confinement with Frontline. That piece where we did scanning of an actual solitary confinement cell. Well, now you're in that cell, you're in that room. It has a real different effect on your entire body and your sense of, oh my God, now I understand why solitary confinement is so cruel and unnecessary. I have to say, winning a Peabody, it's sort of a lifetime dream. Gaming people, to journalism people, to university professors, I got so much pushback. And to be at this point now in my life where I would get a Peabody Award, all I can say is thank you. It's incredibly meaningful.
Okay, next one actually is, believe it or not, it's from Second Life, not OpenSim anyway, but it's, I noted that I couldn't find anywhere else to put it, so I thought I'd put it on this show. It's the good old Tinies at Escapades Island in Second Life, and it's just a nice little bit of fun, and you'll be pleased to know it's only 17 seconds of it. Nah, this is pretty quiet anyway. This wasn't, there were no Safari this week, but on Friday, I see at the bottom here, Val LeBeau and Greg. These folks, they meet at Second Life an awful lot, but they've got, I think they might have something going on here with Avacon, but this particular one was at Cookie 2, which is on the Kitely grid. Oh, our friend Leo there on the right. It was basically a meetup. Oh, Joyce there. Yes, Joyce. It was a sort of extension, I think, of the non-profit Commons meetups they have in Second Life each week, and they just decided to come with Val to this one on the Kitely grid on OpenSim, and of course it was. I think some of the people in Second Life took a long while to, because they couldn't teleport direct, they took a while to get there, but obviously for those of us on the hypergrid, it was just a click away. Paraphrase of, oh, there's a Rolling Stones song, it's just a click away, click away, click away. Yeah, well, never mind. Got to do something silly on the microphone here to cover up the fact the video is silent. I like the hippo character here. Avacon have one of them. I won't tell you who he is. I think it's several of him actually. Yeah, and yeah, a lot of Buffy Beale is in there too. Val LeBeau's avatar here is great when you see her again. She's I'd hoped to get her on a show this week, but she was doing another one at the same time. But she's got a hat that is basically an open book, quite literally. Right, so.
Spending more time, but I think it's going to be more gradual than
that's an old one. Okay, so we're done. Oh, yes, we're done. We are done actually. James, if I'm still here, if you're still here,
you are still here.
Oh, wonderful! We're behaving now. Oh, we'll be behaving now because we've come to the end. Have you got any thoughts about that you didn't express during the interval?
No. At this point, I'm just happy to have made it through the program.
Yeah, you and me both. Yeah. Of course, I'm really curious now as to what went out on air during the hiccups.
Kitties and turntables. That was about it.
Yeah, I gathered them and a bit of voiceover from you, I think. Yeah, well, I'm sorry, folks, about all this. Not much you can do when you've got I don't know. I don't think it was the hardware because it's stabilized now, and if it was the hardware failing, it would now be doing it. I think it is to do with a company called Virgin, who provide the fiber optics here, and uh, I had to do a speed test on them earlier in the week, and it was such a miserable one. I emailed them, and so within half an hour, I was blisteringly fast again. So they've done something, but. I think maybe they're getting too many customers, and it's bringing new people into the fold, as it were, is affecting people already on it while they play with the linkages and whatever. However, that's my affair, my worry, not yours. Hopefully, it won't bother us next week. Now we will be back same time, same place next week, at least with the quick news. But we're also going to be. We've been asked very, very last minute, I hasten to add, to do some of the usual highlight filming from Virtual World's Best Practices, which happens in, they're all, it will all be shot in Second Life, so to speak, though there is stuff on the program, or has been, that's been here on OpenSim, and I think maybe some of the after conference things are outside Second Life too. We'll find out. There'll be an interview with the management of Second Life at Linden Lab. I think it's Brett or Brent, I don't know. The 5-year update on the Metaworld Award with Leah Lobo, of course, got that. And a couple of keynotes. I think there's 5 in all. I'll have to go and check on it. So we will be doing those. They won't be on this channel. They'll be on the conference's own channel, I guess. But we'll be able to report on that next week as part of the ongoing thing. My mind's gone a bit blank. It's very hard to explain how I can go through a show and keep the rhythm going and keep things in my mind quite a lot. And then the moment something like today happens, I'm completely thrown. I don't know whether my arse or my head,
Mm-hmm.
And then getting back into the rhythm and redoing things on the fly, it's not an easy task to get a grip on. But anyway, we managed to do it. So I guess, as James said, the only thing we're really looking forward to this week is getting off this bloody show right now before it goes wrong again. And I have to agree with that. So we will see you same time, same place next week. Don't forget, this is on Mal Burns, my own channel at YouTube, as replays of this forever and ever. And it'll be up there very shortly. We film on Mondays at it's 11 a.m. Pacific time, and then it's you can catch up with it whenever you want, as it were. So keep safe, everybody, and look after yourselves. Stay indoors. Avoid flying missiles and viruses that are also flying, sort of thing. Oh, I don't believe it. Val and Greg has just come online, but well, never mind. Okay, so that's it for this week. So from both James and me, I've got to remind you, when it comes to XR and VR, and possibly MR and AR,
we are.
And the Skull Ghost is too, but we can't get him in on that one. Nope. we do a 3-way with the Skull Ghost. Yeah, we are. Okay, so until next week, look after yourselves. Hope you did enjoy the show, despite the interruptions, and we'll see you then. So bye for now.